Imagine this. In 2025, a modern India with laws, education, and media. And yet in Bihar, a family of 5 was burned alive by villagers convinced they practiced witchcraft. How could such a tragedy take place in 2025? Well, it did. This is a story of superstitions leading to murder of 5 innocent people. In the quiet rural area of Tetgama village, nestled in Purnia district of Bihar, India, a horrific act of violence unfolded on the night of July 6, 2025. What began as superstition escalated into a brutal and senseless tragedy. The victims were part of the Oraon tribal community, a group often marginalized and vulnerable to prejudice. The family consisted of 65-year-old Babulal, his wife Sita Devi, their son Manjeet Kumar, daughter-in-law Rani Devi, and Babulal's 82-year-old mother Kado Devi. They were accused of practicing witchcraft after the sudden death of a child in the village and the subsequent illness of another. These misfortunes led to unfounded belief that the Oraon family was responsible for these tragedies. Around 10 p.m. on July 6, 2025, a mob of approximately 50 villagers barged into the Oraon household. Armed with sticks and other weapons, they forcefully entered the home, dragging the family members outside. The attackers subjected them to severe beatings and, in the final act of cruelty, set their bodies on fire. After beating the victims to death, the killers loaded the bodies onto a tractor and dumped them in a pond nearby. The remains of the victims were discovered the following morning. The sole survivor of this horrific incident was 15-year-old Sonu, Babulal and Sita Devi's grandson. He managed to escape the mob's violence and escaped to his maternal grandparents. Sonu's testimony was crucial in bringing the accused to justice. His courage in the face of such terror highlighted the deep-seated fear and superstition that led to the family's demise. The police have arrested 3 individuals named in the first information report, also known as FIR, and investigators are underway to apprehend the remaining suspects. The authorities are also examining the involvement of up to 200 unidentified villagers in the mob attack. The case has drawn national attention and highlighted the persistent issue of superstition-driven violence in rural India. In another incident in 2024, a widow of the Darbhanga district was accused of practicing black magic after her neighbor's child fell ill. The community was influenced by an Oja. Oja is known to be a traditional healer in some parts of India. The community accused the woman of witchcraft and held her responsible for the child's illness. She was subjected to a brutal ritual which involved physical assault and psychological torment. She was later kicked out from the village and forced to live in isolation. This incident also took place in Bihar. Despite the enactment of the Bihar Prevention of Witch Practices Act in 1999, such incidents continue. Between January and May 2025 alone, authorities recorded 192 witchcraft-related cases, with figures exceeding 600 annually in previous years. Many victims hesitate to report incidents due to fear of retaliation. The National Crime Records Bureau has documented over 2,500 deaths linked to witchcraft accusations between 2000 and 2016. Experts believe the actual number is actually much higher, as many cases go unreported, and recent studies suggest that 75,000 women in Bihar alone remain at risk of being labeled witches. These women, often from marginalized communities, face not only physical violence but also long-term psychological trauma. As mentioned previously, in 1999, Bihar enacted the Bihar Prevention of Witch Practices Act. The law makes accusing someone of witchcraft or harming them based on such accusation a punishable offense. Despite this, enforcement is inconsistent. Victims often face obstacles in filing complaints, and local authorities may be very slow to respond. Cultural attitudes and deeply ingrained superstitions continue to overshadow the rule of law in many rural areas of India. The social and psychological impact of these accusations cannot be overstated. Victims frequently endure long-term trauma, isolation, and loss of livelihood. Entire families may be forced to relocate to escape harassment. The stigma associated with being labeled a witch can follow individuals for the rest of their lives. Activists and NGOs have launched awareness campaigns focusing on education and community engagement to challenge superstitions. Some initiatives have helped victims reclaim their place in society and seek justice. Despite these efforts, the battle against witch hunting in Bihar is far from over. Change often requires more than just laws. It requires a fundamental shift in mindset. Communities must be educated to reject superstition and fear-driven behavior. Leaders and local authorities must take a proactive role in protecting vulnerable individuals, and societies at large must know that violence justified by superstitions is never acceptable. The tragic reality of Bihar's witch hunting epidemic serves as a stark reminder of how fear and ignorance can devastate lives. While the numbers are alarming, every survivor and every legal victory represents hope. Thank you for listening.